real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga, the man with the plan.
Yes.
What's your plan today?
My plan is to talk about golf and God.
There you go. There you go. That's absolutely right. We got a great guest with us today, Chey Castro with Russ, Lyon, Sotheby's International Realty with the Private Client Group. How's it going, Chey?
It's going amazing.
Good.
How are you?
Well, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So if anybody out there wants to get schooled in golf,
Yes.
reach out to Chey. No.
No, I like to have fun on the golf course.
There we go. I hear. So Chey, I think is what like a four
yeah.
handicap or
Four
whatever.
handicap.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
but first, tell us about the awesome trip that you took.
Oh,
Was it last year?
Last year, went to about pretty much exactly a year ago. Went to Scotland, played Old Course, and St Andrews. What absolute dream! I was there with 8 buddies from college, and 2 of them brought their fathers, and it was the coolest thing to see them just embrace it. I mean, it's a home of golf.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and there was one day where my buddy Clint and his dad were just sitting there at this welcome bridge and just talking. We couldn't hear what they were saying, but tears were just coming down there.
Oh, wow.
Coming down their eyes. And unfortunately, my father passed away, but when I have a kid, I want to take my kid there.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Yeah, it's a magical place. And I've been playing golf since I was a child, basically. My entire life, played in high school. And it's just a home of golf. There's so much amazingness there. So,
No, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
I bet that was an amazing trip.
Yeah, and the weather's crazy because it's great 1 second, and then literally 20 minutes later it's cold and rainy.
Well, anytime I see it on TV, it's always so windy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's like no trees.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
It's
just blowing right in.
and the caddies are funny. They all have their thick accents, and you never know what they're saying, but they're always talking crap about you. And they have their own. There's 4 of them because each person has a caddy, and they have their own games against you, and they're like betting against you. It's so funny.
Wow. So did you win or lose money? No.
No, we had fun.
Well, why don't you let the agents that are listening or watching know how long you've been in business and what got you into real estate?
Okay. I've been a realtor for 12 plus years. Background is in finance and accounting. I had a finance degree and a master's in accounting, and I worked at Ernst & Young for a while. And then I worked for a real estate development firm, D&B Associates, who developed all of Silverleaf and DC Ranch.
Got it.
And I did the pro forma for Silverleaf, and I just remember I would always have to meet with the sales manager, sales team, and go over absorption rates and just kind of their monthly LFP. And I remember just every time I'd go into the sales office, they were always happy. They were always smiling. They were always like doing something different.
Yeah.
Like nothing against finance and accounting, but it's kind of the same thing every same monthly reports. So it kind of planted the seed.
Right.
And long story short, I had a really nice, great senior financial analyst title. I was on my way up to be kind of wanted to be a CFO of the company, but it was going to take a long road. And I'd left a pretty nice job to start all over as a sales assistant. And I took a huge, 6-figure pay cut. I had my buddies at Ernst & Young, my buddies at Notre Dame were like, "What did you do today, Chey?" I'm like, "Well, I washed their Range Rover. I got them coffee, but the sales team let me go out in their sales call, and it just was amazing. I got to meet amazing people. I was at the Silverleaf sales office, and just the type of people that would come in, I got to meet every day, and that just planted the seed. And that was 15 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's a great story.
Yeah, thank you.
Notre Dame, right?
I did. Yes, Notre Dame.
That's where you went for your master's work, right?
Yes, master's in accounting, and we got a big game on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go to the Phoenix alumni have a big watch party, and it's amazing. It's all Notre Dame alumni, and it's cool.
Big following.
Arizona is big because a lot of people from Chicago that go to Notre Dame, they always transplant to Arizona. So there's a big Notre Dame family out here.
So how is it really to go to a football game there?
It's amazing. I try to go back every year. I went to the Florida State game last year, which the mistake was that it was November and it was so cold. But the campus, just every time I go back, the campus changes so much, and it's just so beautiful. That they have the big pep rally Friday, where they play basketball. It's completely full, and they have the marching band there. They have the coach there. They have the players, and it's just like it's amazing. It's like you're in high school, but it's a college atmosphere, and it's getting you rallied up for the next day. And then the next day on campus, I tell people, like, I thought I knew what tailgating was when I was at ASU, but Notre Dame is just a whole different different level. And people are so nice too. Yeah. Like, you're always like, you want a hot dog? You want,
I bet.
Yeah.
So I feel like saying Rudy.
That was the first. On the way to the Notre Dame game, I went with my buddy Tyler and Mike, and my camp, and we were on the flight there. They were watching the movie Rudy.
Yeah.
It was their first time on the Notre Dame campus, and they were watching it. It was kind of funny.
That's great. That's a good film.
That's a great movie.
Absolutely. So let's see. You focus more on the luxury side, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we can get into that. You also wanted to mention too. You've had some big changes in your life.
Yes.
So within the last year and a half, I've built a personal relationship with God. Like that's all I can say. It's been a blessing. It's changed everything for me. Like you asked earlier how business was, and I'll say it's the slowest start to my year that I've ever had in my career, doing this over 12 years now. But it was the happiest I've ever been. I was just full of joy, and it was just like, it was just one of those things where it didn't matter. Like I used to just, everything used to have been my production. How am I doing? But now it's like, God has given me so much more fulfillment and joy and happiness. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, one of the things that God does for people is contentment.
Yes, right? Yes, that's a great, absolutely, 100%.
That is true. Yeah. My wife and I went to Africa back in 2009.
Oh, nice.
And so it was with the church, and we're back
beautiful.
there working in an orphanage. And after you witness, the living conditions, and everything, you come back and you're just like,
they're so happy, right?
Okay.
But they have joy, and because that's what God gives you. He gives you purpose, and I never really felt I had purpose until in the last year and a half, where I realized I wake up every day and just say 3 things I'm grateful to God for. I mean,
that's awesome.
And it's the smallest thing, just being able to breathe, to be able to see, to do anything. Yeah. It's all God. So
you have a short testimony to share?
I have a million testimonies to share. Gosh, testimony.
Or what made you look for God, I guess? Search God.
That's a good question.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I just, basically, I kind of was lost, to be honest with you. I was kind of lost. And I had a guy, I was in this special training program through Sotheby's, and it was just kind of, to be all honest, I always knew the word being born again Christian. I was like, that connotation to me, I was like, what does that mean? Yeah. It doesn't mean anything to me. And then when someone, Barry Van Patten and Alan McDonald, 2 amazing agents, said, well, when you're born again, it's basically you're a baby, and you start over in a whole new life. And that really, and what struck me is that, my father was very important to me. He was just like me, he was the youngest of 3. I have 2 older brothers. He had an older brother and an older sister. He was the only one who went to college. And at 40, at my age, he was a millionaire, but he had 3 kids and then lost his way. And unfortunately, he passed away. And so I didn't have a father when, growing up. And what they were saying, I'm kind of going off top, but it's hard to talk about. But what he explained, what I learned, and I guess when he said what made Chase it, is that, my real father's dead. I have an amazing stepfather, but God is my dad now.
That's right.
And what does he want? He gives me unconditional love. He wants me to live an abundant life, a happy life, everything. So I literally talk to God like I'm talking to my dad. And I say, Father, and I say, Dad. Like on the way here, Dad, please let me say the right things today. Dad, look out for me. And, if I do something wrong, like I used to live this life that I had to be perfect and everything. I got a 4.0 at ASU. I didn't get 1B. I mean, it's crazy. Wow. If I got anything less than a 95 on a test, I'd be mad at myself. Like I had to be perfect. And now with God, it's like, if I screw up, he's like, I still love you. You're still good. You're still good, baby. Things are good. And, there's something I heard from a pastor, and it was like, when you put a GPS in on your destination, like here, I had to put my GPS on destination here. And I'm born and raised here in Arizona, so I know how to get here. And I could say, no, I'm going to take a left here because I know I can get here quicker. Well, you take a left, and it ends up being the wrong way. There's a dead end or something, right?
Right.
The GPS says, what does it say? It just says rerouting. It's going to reroute you to get to your destination, instead of saying, you idiot, you stupid, I told you not to go left. Why'd you go left? I never said go left, And that's how I used to live. And now I live like, I know God got me, so I'm good. I'm going to get to my destination, so.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So,
good stuff.
I don't think I'd be talking about that today, but I like it.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes that GPS voice is Australian, too.
Yeah. It's always nice, though. It's always kind, and it has compassion and grace. It has God's grace in it. I mean, it always just says rerouting. And you could take 20 different wrong turns, and it's just going to keep saying rerouting.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. Yeah, when my wife has her phone plugged in, hers is an Australian voice. I'm just like, I can't even understand what it's saying. Well, no, that's a great testimony. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So as far as your real estate, now, how are things going? What I know mostly on the luxury side, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of the focus.
So, I like I said, I had the worst start to my career, my year. But then in July, I had the best July of my career.
Great.
I put under contract, was closed on 4 and put on 2 other under contract for a total of $19 million. Wow. And just in July, like that was God just saying, hey, you're going to have a tough couple months, 6 months to start the year, but I'm just going to bless you at the end, and it just came and it's been amazing. I have a lot of other things that are in the works right now as well, but that July just completely punched me in the face. Like, this is God saying, hey, you were, because there was times I used to go, if I went a month without a sale, I used to freak out. And I went 5 months without a sale, and I was not freaking out at all. I was happy, full of joy, full of peace, full of contentment, like you said. I mean, it was, which that right there is a testimony, because I used to put everything into my career, and I used to identify myself by, how well I'm doing and comparing myself to other people. Now I don't do that at all. I run my own.
Feels good, huh?
Oh, it feels amazing.
Freedom.
Yes.
No, that's great.
Thank you.
What are you doing to get the business now? I mean,
to be honest with me, it's my cell phone, my contacts. Okay.
So your database is
my database,
everything?
And I've always kind of been a transactional person, to be honest, fully honest. And now I'm turning more into relationships. Mm-hmm. And I'm calling some clients of mine that I've sold a house to. There's a couple houses in Silverleaf, for example, that are on the market right now, and I helped those clients buy the house 5-6 years ago. I did a terrible job staying in contact, and so, that's the biggest thing, is that if you're not top of mind, you're out of mind, and there's the average person knows 12 realtors, so if you're not staying top of mind, they're gonna just go to someone else. So I don't blame them; it's completely my fault. But the ones that I've been reaching out to, I thought they were mad at me for something or whatever, but it was never about me. It was always, they always liked me. They knew I had a good heart. Is like, if the transaction I don't know. It's just one of those things where you have internal fear. I'm not going to call them because they don't want to. I don't want to bug them. They don't want to hear from me.
Right.
They actually do want to hear from me. Some of them are like, Chey, my wife and I were just talking about you. We're like wondering how you're doing. I'm like, oh cow! I wish I would have called you 5 years ago.
So you're being more intentional keeping in contact with
perfect
people.
Word. Yep, more intentional, and that's all. I mean, it's a free thing too. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been doing this 12 years, and even if I wasn't doing it 12 years, just people in your phone that you call. So there's always someone that knows somebody that's trying to buy or sell.
Yeah,
and it's just calling out and reaching out and letting them know, hey, I'm ready to work.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
getting over the fear of calling them.
Yeah.
Reaching out.
And if you haven't spoke to them in a while, you always just apologize. Hey, I apologize for not reaching out sooner.
Yes.
And, how's everything going? And
absolutely. And you'll be amazed. Well, I've been amazed that that was my biggest fear, that initial thing. Mm-hmm. But that goes by so quickly, and then you go on to how you been, what have you been up to,
and then you just make it intentional to stay in touch with them from then.
That's the other thing, and that's where I need to get better at.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing. Mm-hmm. It's something I can't just say I'm great. I mean, it takes work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest source of referrals is your network.
Yeah, I'd say my network and on the golf course too.
I was going to say, golf course is a good place to close deals, right?
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow at DC Ranch Country Club. I've been a member there 8 years, and I'm playing with. I'm taking my pastor out actually.
Oh, okay.
And then. Client and a friend, whatever, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of times I golf with a client, and they'll bring a friend, and I can play 4 or 5 hours and not even talk about real estate at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But you just build that kind of relationship, and then business just comes. I mean,
they always seem to ask, right?
They always ask.
So what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, after a couple, there's advice I gave once a long time ago, and it was like how to get clients. I said, well, go on golfnow.com, see a foursome or a threesome at like a really nice course at like the Phoenician.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in as a single.
Oh.
And then you play, and if you're good, you play a couple holes. You don't talk about real estate. You play a couple holes, and then they'll ask you. They always do. Everyone asks you.
Yeah.
And then you just say, "Oh, well, I do real estate." And then it just kind of flows from there. So
But not if you're a bad golfer. Right?
Not if you're a bad golfer, yeah. Well, if you're
so
a bad,
that doesn't work for me then.
Actually, you know what? You can be a bad golfer. You just got to be a fun golfer, and you got to be a quick golfer. You can't take 20 practice shots and then hit it 5 feet. You just get up and hit it and just have fun. And I mean,
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Only go to the ones that have no water.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So where do you see things going this year? Like the the luxury market, right? I mean, are you seeing?
I think it's still hot. I this morning I just put a $2 million house under contract, and it was a guy coming from Alaska. I mean,
Really?
Okay.
People are coming from all over the place coming to Arizona, and as an Arizona native, that makes me so proud and happy.
Yeah.
People come here and just fall in love. I mean, they really do. It's beautiful here, and they're from Alaska, and it's hot right now.
I was going to say
they
it's
still
like
loved it.
super hot.
I know, but completely different. But they're gonna love it here. I mean, I know people are gonna love it. People love it here when they live here.
Yeah,
when they move here.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, we are one of the fastest growing counties.
Absolutely, and in the luxury market too, people coming from California. A lot of people coming from California, and their dollar here for a home still goes a long way.
Selling $20 million over there, buying $5 million here.
Exactly, cash, quick close, cash, and getting a lot of house for their value for their money.
That's awesome. Are you? You mentioned Notre Dame. So you have a group of people here in the Valley that you kind of hang out with, and because I would think that just being around like-minded people, people that like the same football team, is going to also, build that network up.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You go to the watch parties and it's all people wearing Notre Dame clothes. We had a Notre Dame golf tournament, and it was funny. I walked out and I said, "Oh, I'm looking for my golf bag. It has the Notre Dame head covers on it." Everyone had head covers.
Everybody.
And so it's just one of those things. I mean, it's just cool. And then they play the fight song when they score a touchdown. It's just it's one of those things that's amazing. And domers like to work with other domers. So I've worked with quite a few Notre Dame alumni.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, that's good.
That's what they call them, huh?
Yeah.
Domers.
Domer, baby. Yeah,
domers. So, what tips would you give agents right now if maybe their business has slow? Like you said, the beginning of the year was a little bit slower for you.
Yeah.
And then boom. So what would you tell other people that maybe are getting a little bit down, discouraged, whatever?
Just run your own race. Stay in your own lane. I wish I could have done that when I first started. I wish I had God in my life. Actually, get God in your life. It'll change. It'll change everything. It'll change your happiness and everything. And just run your own. Stay in your own lane. Run your own race. I mean, real estate is one of the craziest careers because how much people are making. You can look up production on MLS. You can see people how they're doing. And it's funny too because I've talked to some title companies, and there's girls are telling me like this guy said that he's doing all this, and he wants to meet with me, whatever. And then you look him up as production, and they haven't done anything. So it's kind of fun, what I'm talking about. But anyway, I don't know why I talked about it. But my point is, you can see it's like one of the only careers, because I used to be an accountant, and you don't know what other people are making in finance and in the corporate job. I don't know what they're making.
Right.
I think they're making this, but you never know. In this, you can see exactly what they're making. So you can quickly be like, why did, and with social media, it used to happen to me all the time, where I have a lot of realtors on my social media, on my Facebook, and I would see that they got a listing that I went for, and I didn't get it, and they got it, or they made a sale that I wish I did, and they did, and that could just eat at you, and it just tears you up. And now it just, I'm all about abundance now. It's like, hey, good job, congratulations, I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
And that abundance mentality is something that's not easy to, it's easy to say, it's hard to do.
That's right.
And I think God has helped me do that, because it's just like I congratulate a lot of people. I always congratulate people when they do good things, because I know God's going to bless me with something else.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
When I would think in the luxury space, that you probably see that happen more often, to where oh well, this person got that listing
100%,
because you just can't do it with the other thousands of houses. But in the luxury world, it's a smaller group of people. And one sale, $6 million sale is a big deal. I mean, that's a huge deal. And that I used to think, this is so crazy, I'm thinking about this right now. I remember there was a $6 million sale, and I was like, that should have been mine. I just lost that much commission.
Yeah.
And then now I realized I never had that. It was never mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that changed the mindset of saying I just lost out on this much commission to saying it was never mine anyway. So I'll get the next one.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You seem very happy.
I'm very happy.
Oh, and by the way, we got Jackie over there with Security Title, hanging out.
Hey, thank you for saying that. Like, that's what people have been saying the last year and a half. They're like, you seem happy, you laugh. Like one of my buddies I've known forever was like, I never knew you had a cool laugh. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Accountants are usually
Yeah,
straightforward and
Oh
just
yeah. Both my mom and my dad are both CPAs.
yeah.
They both got their accounting degree at ASU. That's where they met their freshman year, and they're both CPAs. And so,
Yeah.
I wasn't laughing a lot. I was kidding.
Just give me the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Oh gosh, well, I was going to ask this other question, but I have a feeling I already know the answer.
Okay.
What's one of the biggest? Let's see. What's one thing I guess that's made the biggest impact in your business?
God.
I was yeah. So that was I kind of knew where that was
Yeah.
going to go. This one could probably be the same.
Yeah. God.
Every answer
That's
is
a
God.
Bible
Well, I think
answer.
you had something
Yeah.
about books, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to get into that.
Oh,
in a
okay,
second.
okay.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon for you? What are you thinking? What are you as far as your business or? You're obviously Sotheby's for a reason.
Yeah.
Great company.
Yeah.
Where do you see things going?
Well, I'm so thankful to be back at Sotheby's. So I started my career when I left Silverleaf and first started was with Private Client Group, Frank Azami at Russ, Lyon, Sotheby's.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an amazing start. I mean, the first 5 years doing it was just incredible. I had amazing production in 2012 and 2013. And I kind of lost my way, to be full honesty, and I kind of jumped around to different brokerages. They were all amazing, but I know this is where I belong, and this is where I'm back at. And my office is at DC Ranch Market Street, a little boutique office. It's just myself, Monica Monsoon, Lisa Wadey, and Alan McDonald. And it's just a great
Big names.
yeah. awesome people. And I love going to that office because everyone's happy and nice, and they're all crushing it, and everyone has an abundance mentality there. That's one thing I noticed about that office. Everyone has an abundance mentality, and that's why they're all successful.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with agents before we move to the next segment? Or
Just go to church.
Find a good Bible-based church.
Bible page. And I'll say this. A little bit more about me. My mom, her family fled the Nazis and came to America. Very strict Jewish family.
Really?
My dad, very strict Mexican Catholic family from Nogales, Arizona. They met at ASU, and that was it was difficult as a kid because my mom's family, her family, to flee the Nazis in Russia, come to America, you had to have some money, and so they did. And so my point is, I'd have amazing Hanukkah gifts, and then I'd have amazing, and then we'd have all the Hanukkah stuff. On the inside, on the outside, we had Christmas lights, and then my birthday's the day after Christmas, so it was like a crazy. It was very confusing as a kid. But my whole point of that is that all what I say religion is now. I tried to be Jewish. I tried to make my mom happy. I tried to be Catholic. I went to Notre Dame to try to make my dad's family happy.
Yeah.
Now I go to a non-denominational Christian church, and it's all about the relationship with God, and that's how I boil it down.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it's amazing.
Cool. All right, you ready to get in the ring?
I'm ready, baby.
What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Answer the phone. It was Frank Azami. He said we pay a lot of money to make this phone ring, so when it rings, answer the phone.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
How about a book recommendation?
I'm reading right now, Purpose Driven Life,
That's
Okay.
a good one.
and it's amazing because it starts off with the very first thing that says it's not about you.
Correct.
Rick Warren.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rick Warren.
Yes.
He's amazing.
All right, we'll have you draw a question out of here.
Oh, geez.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, my writing's kind of weird. What's your favorite type of food and favorite restaurant?
Mexican food. I am half Mexican, and Frank and Lupe's.
Frank and Lupe's. Where is that?
Oh, it's in Old Town Scottsdale, right on Indian School in Miller.
Oh.
Right there, kind of, where the not the Coach House, it's right there in Old Town, right on
Okay.
Miller. Can't think of
Miller
the
and
name.
Indian School.
Can't think of that name.
Try it,
That
though.
bar that's open at
Yeah,
Christmas.
I'm going to have to try that because my wife loves
It's amazing. It's an old house that's still there. It's like, and the food is just phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah, Frank and Lupe's. It
Frank
has a
and Lupe's.
patio in the back that's amazing, and the food it's number 5 and 6. It's enchiladas. It's either the Frank's enchiladas or Lupe's enchiladas.
Both are enchiladas. Number 5 or number 6?
5 or 6.
Yes.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to ask you another question too, just because. Well, because I'm hosting and I can do that. So you've already played St. Andrews, right?
Yes.
So what would be your next favorite course to go play on?
Oh, Pebble Beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pebble Beach. That's a bucket list. I've played Poppy Hills and Spyglass, but I've never got on Pebble. And I just saw the tournament there, the Pro-Am they had last year. You there and you look at it, and it looks so beautiful. But yeah, that's my next bucket list.
All right.
Yeah.
Pebble Beach.
Well, Chey, thanks for being in here.
Oh, that was fast. Yeah,
This has
thank
been
you.
Great. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's been a great time. And thanks, Jackie, for the invite.
thank you.
All right, agents. Hey, until next time, we will see you later. Adios for now.
See you later.
All right. Great job.
Thank you.